Here we are. Morning, everyone. How are we?
Good.
All good,
Good.
thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Excellent. Right, we've got lots of people that are just joining, so we'll give it a minute just to allow everyone to enter the meeting. And of course, we'll do our round robin of like, how's the weather? Bill, where are you? Midlands?
Yeah,
Right?
Midlands. It's a bit gloomy today.
Is it?
Got a bit of
Dear.
rain.
Phil's down in Newquay. What's it like down in Newquay way, Phil?
I'm a bit further west than that, actually. I'm right
you
in,
go on,
right in
yeah.
the bowels of Cornwall. Yeah, just typical Cornish weather. Nice and miserly, bit drab and grey. Perfect.
Perfect surfing weather.
Just perfect, perfect
Get those
Cornish
waves
weather.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Camilla, you're not too far. You're Midlands area as well, aren't you?
Yeah, the Midlands, same as Bill, so bit grey, bit windy, quite nice.
Well, we're in London and it's grey. It's probably the smog coming over. Yeah. Hopefully the rain holds off. It was pretty heavy yesterday. There was some rain yesterday afternoon, but fingers crossed the rain holds off. Especially around about, well, later on this afternoon, I'll walk back to my train. All right. We've got a few numbers seem to be slowing down. So we will kick things off. And anyone else that joins can catch up. So welcome everyone to those that have joined for our Alto Insider. In this session, we're going to be focusing on some new areas and areas of development that we've done over the past few months. We're going to be looking at PropertyFile. Bill's going to take us through PropertyFile and again, just giving insight into how we've made that simpler to do your invites. Phil's going to take us through Alto-on-mobile and a couple of changes we've made in this area. And Camilla's going to take us through publisher listing and also going to look at some new product releases. As mentioned, we've got Bill, Camilla and Phil with us today from our training and solutions team. Otherwise, we're going to dive right in. So we're going to start looking at PropertyFile. And Bill's going to showcase some areas of PropertyFile that he feels maybe are underutilized by agents, take you through those workflows, and just give them the insight now how we can start to make that invitation for our tenants and our landlords and vendors much, much simpler. So I'm going to hand over to you, Bill.
Okay, so the first thing I want to go through is just to explain that with viewings and PropertyFile, you can set PropertyFile so it automatically sends out an invite. Sorry, not an invite, sends out a viewing request feedback to the applicant once that viewing's been taken place. So for example, rather than you picking up the phone, giving them a call, what do you think of the property? 20 minutes, 30 minutes before that, after that viewing has taken place, the system will automatically send them an invite to say, what's your feedback? So just to demonstrate, if you want to manually do it, we can click on viewing. And over here, I can say request. That will then automatically send a request for feedback. If I just show
so if that goes automatically, Bill, you're saying that goes normally about half an hour after the viewing, is that right?
Yeah, that'll be about between 20 and 30 minutes after the viewing. It will automatically send it out.
Okay, brilliant.
Okay,
so yeah, take us through what happens next.
Okay, so what happens next is the viewer will receive an email. And within the email, they can then say, leave feedback. And they can say, okay, location. How many stars do you give it? Condition. What condition? Price. What do you think of the price? Are they interested or not interested? Interested. And they can put any other additional comments. So, like the property, but feel it's overpriced. For example, you can then say, send your feedback. That feedback will come directly back into your Alto. And if I just go back to my Alto, what you'll find is feedback will be there.
Okay, excellent.
From that feedback, you can also click on this little double arrow, and we can then save that feedback. What we can also do is go to viewing. We can then send that feedback to the owner. If you want to amend that feedback, we can do here, and then press send, and that will then send it to that vendor or landlord automatically.
And I've noticed that a little microphone has just popped up next to Olivia McDonald. What's that representing?
Okay, what that means is we have had feedback from the applicant. So without us contacting that applicant, the feedback has gone into there. So that's what that indicates. And what it's also done is change the color of the circle to orange, which indicates that it's in progress.
Brilliant. So yeah, I can see the one below how it's automatically sent that feedback request at 8:40, but the one that you've done, I can see how that's now come back into the system, and you've been able to action that and send that then on to your landlord or your vendor.
Yeah.
I had a question coming in here which says, is there an additional charge to have this turned on? So do they have to pay for this feature? Which I believe they don't. It's available in the back end of Alto. It comes with your package. If you head into tools and your property file settings, you'll be able to activate this automatically and get this turned on at no additional costs. So next up, Bill, I believe you're going to take us through another part of PropertyFile around documents. Is that right? Or have we lost Bill?
I think Bill might have frozen.
Ah, modern technology. Hey, letting us down, the internet. Maybe that was that weather conversation. You've definitely lost Bill. So I will cover that for him in a moment. So let me just take you through what Bill was going to talk about, which was bulk invites and sharing documents. So if I head into Alto, within your tenancy, as I come into here, you've got the ability to start sharing documents. As I come into my tenancy, I've got my document section, and in here we can start see I've got my guest safety uploaded, my how to rent guide, my AST, I've got a passport. At any moment, I can select if I want to share those with the tenant or with the landlord. By toggling here and saving, that will then send those details to the PropertyFile login. We've also made some changes in this section just to simplify how we visualize this information here. So you'll now see there's a little toggle where I can move from a tile view into a list view. This list view, again, we can mass select documents here, email to the respective tenant or landlord or third parties. We can again toggle our invite to the tenant, the landlord, and we can sort these by dates. This feature here, we're also looking, it's a bit of an insight. We're looking to bring that now into the property section as well. So currently when we head to property, you will have a media section for other files. Again, this sits in the current tile view, but look out for future updates where we're going to obviously align that with both tile and list view in that property section as well. Bill, we have you back. We lost you for a moment. Was that the dreaded weather?
Sorry about that. The rain.
No worries. As you're back, I'm going to throw it back to you. So in the moment of literally having to deal with life in the situation and Wi-Fi is dropping, do you want to take that screen back and show us now how we can bulk invite PropertyFile invites to both tenants and vendors?
Absolutely. So what we need to do is once we're in Alto, we can go into contacts. Within contacts, we have an option of groups. If we click onto groups, within groups, I've got all landlords. I can then select all my landlords. This is only going to select 25 landlords, which is on the first page. But if I want to select all landlords, I can say select all 216 contacts from 9 pages. And from there, I'll go to actions, invite to PropertyFile. What this will do is Anybody who hasn't had a invite for that property file, they will receive a link to say register with us. Anybody who has had one, it won't send it to them. And
Okay,
the same,
ignore anybody that's already signed up to PropertyFile.
yeah, absolutely. So ignore anybody who's, even though we selected everybody, anybody who's registered, it will ignore them.
Brilliant.
The same principles will apply if we go into all our tenants. So if I go into tenants, select all my tenants, actions, invite to PropertyFile. Again, anybody who hasn't registered with PropertyFile, it will ignore them. So I mean, it will send it to them, and anybody who has registered, it will then ignore them.
Brilliant. Fantastic. So yeah, some great insights there into PropertyFile. Really like the way that the viewing feedback is being simplified, automating that process. That way, then your staff members can choose who to follow up, what people are engaging, and automatically send that across to that owner. So yeah, that was great to see. And I like that update you've done there, Bill, around the bulk invite. So it's now simplifying the ability to invite your vendors, your landlords, and your tenants to PropertyFile. So thank you. And yeah, we overcome some internet challenges along the way.
Thanks,
So
James.
next up, we have Alto-on-mobile. So I believe, Phil, you're going to take us through Alto-mobile, again, what we've done in terms of development over the past few months, having listened to feedback from the agents. So over to you.
Thanks, James. Yeah, I thought I'd start with the export for the diary, just in case people weren't aware that if you wanted to have your Alto diary showing on sort of any iOS device or your Google calendar, then you can do that. So on the left-hand side here, where you've got your diary, there's a little sync icon. If you click onto this sync icon, you'll see that there's a URL, and that URL can then be added to any of your diaries outside of your normal work computer. What also useful to know is if you click onto the help button and then click on support, you can get the help articles up in this screen directly on Alto, so you don't need to leave Alto and go to a separate tab for your diary. So if we have a look at diary export and I click on there, you'll see that you'll get the guide articles up for diary export, and you can view these guide articles in this tab here. Doesn't look like my internet's playing ball at the moment. One thing we have added to the diary is the print view. So if we click onto the print view, you should see that there's now the price qualifier and the price for properties when you're going for viewings. That was something that was being asked for a while, so that's something that we've added recently. But today, I really want to have a look at the Alto mobile experience. So if we have a look on this web page, you can see that this is effectively my mobile phone. And what happens when you log into your Alto on your mobile, Alto will automatically recognize that you're dialing in on a mobile phone, and it will give you your mobile phone Alto on the go view.
And I
Just
also
give it a few
noticed
seconds to
there
load.
that back in that print diary, there was also now flags for whether it's a sale property or a rental property as well.
Correct. Yeah, and that's also when you're booking a viewing. Before, when you used to search for a property, there was no sort of obvious sort of flag to show that the property was for sale or for rent. But now when you're booking a viewing and you search for those properties, you can see quite clearly whether they're for sale or for rent.
Brilliant.
So you can see this is the mobile view. You have to excuse my internet's catching up a little bit, and it gives you a breakdown of your day. So you've got your view of your day, of your diary on the mobile phone. You've also got this search bar up here for your contact list. So effectively you have all of your contacts from Alto on your mobile, and you can search through those contacts. And then by clicking on either the phone number or the email on their contacts records, it will take you either to your phone app or your email app. But if you need to have a look into your viewing, so if I click onto this viewing, you'll see that you get the details of that viewing up. So you have your appointment details, the address, you have your key information and any security code information. So if there's an alarm, You can view in maps. If I click that, it would take you directly to your phone's map app. And then you've got your diary notes here as well. So in this case, I want to make sure I don't let the cat out. Again, you've got your contacts here, and you've got your vendor, and then your viewer. And again, if you click onto your phone, it will take you to your phone app. If you click onto the email address, it will take you straight to your email, so you can send that contact an email. What we do have as well, which has just been released, we listened to the feedback that we had, and although the diary, being able to view your own diary on the mobile was really useful, what you really wanted to see was other colleagues' diaries as well. So if we click into this diary view, I'll give it a second, and if I view my calendar, again, it gives me a breakdown of what I'm doing today. You can choose the day that you want to view, and you can choose the month as well if you need to. But what we've added is this filter section up here. So if I click into this filter section, it gives me the option to just view my diary, or I can view my colleagues' diaries. It gives you an option to choose the branches that you want to view. And then if I just choose, for example, Hayley, so I can choose myself and Hayley, and then I close out of that, what it gives me is a view of my diary appointments and also Hayley's appointments. And you can see that there's the initials for the negotiator that's doing the appointments. And there's also these toggles as well. So if I wanted to just see Hayley's appointments, I can. And again, if I just wanted to see my appointments, I can toggle Hayley's off. And that's Alto on the mobile.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I can see we've got some Q&A coming through. So Bill, Camilla, Phil, they will be answering your questions in the background. So if you have any queries, anything you want to share with us, pop it in the questions field and we will respond to you as well. I'm just going to take the screen back here, but I understand, Phil, that we've got some more changes that are coming on Alto Mobile, so we're going to give some more visibility on the type of information that we provide.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so when you click into your diary and you've got those appointment details, we are looking at getting the price in there, the bedroom information, images, and also the lease information in there. So just some more information for the appointments.
Brilliant. So everything that we should need to go and conduct those appraisals, those viewings, share that information when we're out there, we know where we're going, what it's worth, and the information that we can pass over then to those prospective applicants, vendors.
Exactly. And it's also worth noting that there is a share feedback option on that diary page. We're really interested in getting feedback from customers, just so we know which direction to take and which improvements to add.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. So next up, we're going to start to look at what else we've done in Alto. We're going to hand over to Camilla. She's been sitting there patiently, bless her. So she's going to take us through publish a listing. So over to you, Camilla.
Thanks, James. And it's so exciting, all the updates so far. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen.
Okay.
Go. Hope we're able to see that, everyone.
We can do indeed.
Perfect. So now we're through to the dashboard. I'm actually going to bring your attention through to properties. And I'd like to highlight this section to everyone, portal publishing. So just to give you a little bit of information about portal publishing before I show you how it works, it provides Alto customers with a portal-like mock-up of what your listing will look like before you've published it. So the review page is dynamic with attributes changing depending on your listing, whether it's sale, letting, freehold, or a leasehold property. So why is this important? So property attributes are inputted across multiple screens in Alto. Previously, the first time customers would see this in one place is after publishing. So as a result, customers sometimes don't spot errors or missing items prior to publishing, and this can occasionally look unprofessional. So property attributes are inputted across now, and we're able to double check that, and I'll be able to show you how that screen is going to look. Basically, this enables all agents to check that they've correctly set the main image and the image order prior to publishing, and hopefully no more properties getting published where the main photo is a downstairs toilet, for example. So I'm going to jump in now and I'm going to give you some examples of how this is going to work live on your Alto feed. So we're on flat 1, Old Town Street here, and we've gone ahead and filled in all the information. When I click Portal Publishing now, it's going to open up a new screen and it's going to give me a view of what to expect this to look like when it's published. And you can see here, I've got the images and I've got the information that's come through. However, the most helpful point is it's actually going to list for us those elements that are missing so far. So in this one, we're missing the council tax band and the property summary. So when I click Edit Council Tax Band, it's going to take me back to the property page on Alto and allow me to make that change. So if you go down here where it says council and tax band, we can go ahead, select the relevant tax band, save that, and go back to Portal Publishing, and you'll see that that point is no longer there. The only thing missing for me to do here, this property, is to edit the summary. So again, I click through Edit Summary. It's going to bring up the main section of that. I can go in and add a description here. Again, save it. Back to Portal Publishing. And now I've completed the list of missing items. I'm getting a really clear view of what's going to be carried across onto the portal. So this beautiful image of the property, we've got the descriptions and everything you need to know below. Now I'm going to go back into Alto and I'm just going to show you an example of one that has been completely sorted as well. So if we look at Henlow Farm here, I'm going to go into this property's Portal Publishing. This is when we've done everything, we've signed off on it, and we're ready to put it onto the portals. It's listing here for us all of the available places that this could go. Okay. James, are you me on this, or shall I hand back to you?
It's absolutely fine. That's really great to see. So yeah, it's really good to almost have that kind of health check there, isn't it? So if I just take the screen back from you, Camilla, like I said, it's great to be able to see how that property is going to appear on the website, get a good insight into what that consumer is going to see. You're almost carrying out that health check, aren't you? Is it going to be presented as well as I anticipate? And am I missing any information? And we either stop it going from portals or again, upload it without that relevant information.
Gives you back that control. So yeah, fabulous feature.
So again, look out for future changes in this area as well as we start to evolve it. I'm just going to take us through a couple of other features this morning. So I just want to also draw attention to what we call property lookup. It's a new feature that we brought out. So if I was here in Alto, I can now start to book an appraisal. And as I book that appraisal, I've got my potential vendor or landlord here. I can click look up a property. What this will do, it will take me into a property lookup screen here. I can select the address that I'm going to be going to carry out an appraisal, and then pull through. Help if I had a postcode and property that was relevant. I'll put my own in. Let me look that up. If I go and select the property, it will start to give me information on that home. It will start to tell me the address, the current valuation using our insight of data, whether that property is freehold or leasehold. Floor area information also starts to give me EPC rating as well. So saving me having to go off to lots of different areas. In Alto, it's pulling that information through, really to now start populating your property listing. Phil also showed us earlier in the diary those new for sale and for rent flags. We've also carried that through when you're booking things like your viewings. So if I've got a property that's being marketed both for sale and for rent, I may want to book a viewing. They would be two separate properties on this Alto database. So as I now start to search for properties, straight away I can see whether that property is a to let one or a for sale. Again, just simplifying those processes, making sure we're not booking viewings on the wrong property, trying to send someone around to a for sale property when we're clearly marketing the to let one. So lots and lots of changes obviously starting to happen in Alto, making sure that it's as efficient as possible. We're listening to the feedback from our clients and making those changes. So you've seen Camilla demonstrate publish a listing. We've looked at those diary changes today. We've looked at our property lookup, and Bill's taken us through PropertyFile and how we've simplified the way to bulk invite our contacts. Keep firing through your questions, and we will obviously keep relaying those back as well. But the last thing we've done is we've started to also update our release notes. So any release notes now where we make changes to Alto, these can quickly be found on the website. So if I now head to the altosoftware.co.uk website, under what's new, you can see the most recent release notes as well. This will show you all the work that we've been doing, everything that's changed and happened with Alto over the last period of time. You can start to dive into these, see releases, see the information on them, and get insight into what's changed. You'll also see back on that Alto website as well that we've simplified the process to log into Alto. So if you either head to a support page or the Alto website, there is a simple login to Alto. So if you are out and about and you're on the go, you want to log into Alto Mobile, you don't know your URL, head to the Alto website, select login, take you straight into your Alto Mobile on the go. We continue to innovate as well. We have lots of requests for training on Alto, so we will fire out a link. We've also created the ability to self-serve your Alto training booking. So we'll send out this link for you. But if you're interested in having any training on Alto, we now have a simple link that you can head to, start to see the training that's available. Again, select those and book direct into our trainers' diaries. So if I'm interested now in accounts training, I can see the availability of that. I can start to select the date and time that I'm interested in having that, and then start to book that direct. So I'd like to thank you all for attending Alto Insider today. Thank you to Phil, Bill, and Camilla for showcasing those features. But just before we do head off, again, we're going to give a little bit of a giveaway today. So to support everybody who has attended, in the follow-up email that you're going to receive, there'll be a link to book a half-an-hour free training session with our trainers. If you want any insight on publish a listing or any insight on how to utilize PropertyFile, that will be available to you. So we're going to send out a Alto Insider link. You can book 30 minutes free training. And I will also just populate that in the chat for you to grab. And that's available in August. So this link will be available to book a free training session for 30 minutes in August. And I will just populate that in the chat for people to grab. And likewise, we will fire this out in our follow-up email. Otherwise, thank you for attending today. And again, thank you to Phil, Bill, and Camilla.